Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back on Thursday night. So, we have myself, Dixie Dave, and we have the guy who calls himself cool, Crusher Crossen. You know, I'm wondering what the shades are all about, Crusher.
Well, I'm in the best shape of my life right now. Dave, I'm at, 180 pounds and falling. And I am only 12 pounds away from being at the actual weight for my height, which is my goal.
Yeah.
So I figured I got to change the image. It's going to be cool, Crusher Crossen. Ricky didn't like that. Ricky didn't like that last week. But you know what? That's too bad because I am cool and he knows it. And Dave, you keep squawking about, oh gosh, I wish Ricky would come on a Rewind show with me. I wish he could come on. He is an absolute coward. You will never see him on Rewind. I told you that. He can't even handle himself with me on forward because I always school him and lecture him, as the guys know. So there's that. There's that. So besides, he's getting real cocky with me lately, I got to say.
Yeah.
And I don't know where that attitude's coming from. It's kind of funny, like I told everybody when I was out there in Ireland, he was not like that. He was very respectful and everything. But the moment I end up getting distance from him, out comes the old Ricky Henry. What can you say?
It's kind of like we talked about on earlier today. It's kind of hard to have two baby faces on the same show.
Oh, I'm not saying babyface, but there's a certain level of respect that the 5-time champ should have.
Well, speaking of respect, I'm going to show a little respect to our viewers and apologize for last show. My absence. I'm sorry, but family emergency came up and
yeah, it wasn't anything. Dave didn't just bail. He had some stuff going on within his family that he had to deal with.
Being, pulling the curtain back.
Yeah.
I got a call at about 3:00 that my future father-in-law had been rushed to the hospital.
Yep. So they had to go to the hospital and everything, and so he's 82 years old, I believe, right? You said.
Yep. 82 years old, so any trip to the hospital could be his last.
Mm-hmm. So it was understandable, and like I said before, I don't. It was a last minute thing, obviously, and so I don't. I've got people that could try to step in for Dave, but I'm not going to inconvenience people last minute either. So I just did the show by myself. And Gizmo and everybody said I did. It was one of the better shows. They were very impressed with Crusher handling it. So I got to say, speaking of comments, let me bring in a few. Well, I'm not going to bring in these ones we've been talking about, guys, because that's just back behind the scenes talk. But Sky Sports Video News does say, Dixie Dave, welcome back. So
it's good to be back. Like I said, I apologize for missing the last show, but between the show and family comes first.
And Dave went and got himself a new kind of headset thingy, so he sounds a lot better, if you've noticed. So that's good. That's good news.
It's just like Crusher and I. It won't affect Rewind, hopefully, but October I'm going to be gone for a little bit, so.
Yep, but it looks like it could be in between Rewinds, so you may not be missing a Rewind show after all, but we yet to be determined.
Right.
Jamie did say he would step in that show though if he had to. So.
Long story short, my stepdaughter's in basic training for the military right now, and once again, family versus show. Family's going to win.
Yep. And something, Dave? You know what the big buzz is right now with everybody? And they're buzzing about it everywhere, and they're talking about it, and everybody's wanting to know, why, Crusher, are you getting into such physical shape, looking like you did back in the day? And it's like, everybody's asking. It's the talk of the town. Dave. It's the talk of the channel. But you know what? Just wait and see. Just wait and see what happens. That's all I'm going to say. Not letting anything out of the bag yet.
Nope, not yet. I mean, I've got a few ideas, but
yeah,
I'm
sure Dixie Dave does. By the way, here's another comment, Dave. Oh, were you missing, Dave? LOL, you were. You know that we love you. So that's Sports Talk. I'm part of the Sky Sports crew.
yep.
They're kind of our main fan section. I always like to have them guys here. And then, of course, we always got our silent watchers as well. There's a lot of people watching that never chat. You guys, if you're always welcome to chat in with us, we will bring in your comments. So.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I may disrespect Crusher, but I'm not going to disrespect our fans. No,
we bring in all the comments unless they're inappropriate, guys. I'm only going to say this. Don't make anything inappropriate, because if you do, I have moderators here. I see Sky Sports Video News is a moderator. Gizmo's a moderator. They will remove those comments and potentially put you in timeout. So it doesn't pay to talk gobbledygook. So
right.
Yeah, we don't want to. We kind of keep it, especially Rewind. We want to keep it forward. Ricky and I will be a little 13. What do they call it? 13 plus or
PG-13.
PG-13. But on Rewind, we like to keep it a little more family friendly, because I know we have lots of younger kids that watch this stuff, because they are obviously intrigued with kids doing wrestling. So yeah. And then Damien says, Dave, you can't tell us a relative is going into the military and not tell us what branch. Congratulations.
She is National Guard Reserve.
And National Guard in what state?
Minnesota.
Okay. I can't remember. I thought you were going to Missouri or something. Oh, wait.
Well, she's in basic training in Missouri right now.
Okay.
But she lives here in Minnesota. Real proud of the kid. She left beginning of the month.
Yeah.
And she left. She was only 17 years old. She just had her 18th birthday yesterday.
Yeah.
So pardon the way I'm wording this, fans, but the kid's got her shit together.
Yeah. I wish I could go back to that age. 18. Do it all again. But
question is, Crusher, at 18, would you still retire from wrestling at that age?
Well, I was 20. But no, I think I would do it. I think I would stay in it, knowing everything now. I should have never left it. And there's reasons why I did back at the time, that mainly my dad, not wanting me to get hurt, and that kept bugging me about it. But no, I think I would have stayed in it and stuff. I mean, seeing what Sean Waltman did, man, that could have been me.
Yeah.
He was in this. He was just he was no different than I was at the time when he came through Eddie Sharkey when I was there, and that's just his move arsenal wasn't much more than mine. I mean, yeah.
He was a little scrawny kid, and
little taller, but not much.
I saw him and I didn't think much of him. Boy, was I wrong.
Well, none of us did. I mean, it was just another guy, another kid coming through.
Yep.
But hindsight's 2020, right?
Yep.
So yeah, I totally would do that. I'm sure Troy Steenerson says the same thing. Troy was at the same spot I was, and Eddie Sharkey. He had a decision. He made a decision for other reasons and got out of it for the same kind of thing. It could have been Troy too, just as well. Troy had the advantage over me because he had the size.
Right.
I had to deal with that, and but Troy didn't. He was big enough, and he's good enough. Just wasn't good on the mic.
That was his only drawback, is he's not a talker.
Wasn't a talker.
That's probably why we can't get him on Rewind.
Well, Troy never was much of a social. Troy loved interaction in person and loved to get together, bullshit, everything like that. But when it came to, I remember back in the day, he just hated even talking on the telephone. He hated phone calls, phone conversations. And this is kind of along those lines. So he's just not a social guru guy, like when it comes to social media and that. That's why we don't ever see Slick Steenerson. You know, he says he'll do it, but he hasn't come on yet.
You know, if you're watching, Slick, if you're watching, you know, doing this show is almost like a face-to-face.
It is. It's very, very similar.
I mean, you're looking at the person that you're talking to. I mean, it's been great seeing Jamie. It's been great seeing Matt. It was great meeting Ace.
Hey, speaking of Jamie, I don't know if you caught it, but he had a great interview with Keaton, a week ago, 2 weeks ago. He was on Kayfabe with Keaton. What an awesome interview. I know Gizmo and those guys were in there because I seen the chats going through. It was great to see Jamie, you know, in there with Keaton telling his side of the story and hearing his perspective. And Jamie's a philosopher, you know, he loves to get real deep and give philosophical answers, and he did a lot of that. It was a great interview. You guys should check that out on Kayfabe with Keaton on Wrestling Revolution Keaton's YouTube channel. You can watch the replay. It was a good interview.
You know, we'll have to find an excuse to bring Jamie back in with the two of us. You know, it's always good to see him.
You know, if you are going to be on the show in October that Jamie's going to come on, maybe we just do a triple show again and have him come on with us. You know, the guys are saying they'd love to have him come on again, and I'm sure Jamie would do it.
Oh yeah.
So now let's talk a little bit about what we're going to watch today, Dave. This is now, just so everybody knows, everything now going forward is Project Starlight Restoration. So it's going to be nice and clean. And of course, you're still not seeing it in full resolution when we play it here. Resolution's cut down a little bit.
Well, you know, I do know of a way that they can get the full resolution.
How's that?
You know, if they join the Champions Club.
Oh yeah, the membership.
Don't they get full resolution right here on YouTube?
They get full access to all these shows we do watch-alongs without us talking.
Okay,
so yeah, they can watch it all in 1080p.
And how much is that Champions Club?
Championship Club is only $9.99 a month. Just the same price as the Vimeo network, the video network, or Vimeo OTT network. So it's like you do either one. But what's nice about YouTube is all in one spot.
Right.
And the other advantage with YouTube is because if you're a Championship Club member, you also get the perks of the number one contenders member, which is only $3.99 a month, I think, or I believe $2.99, or maybe it's $2.99, something like that, $2 or $3. But anyways, that one gives you early access to videos that get uploaded. Every Friday we put new videos up, and you get early access to those Friday videos. So, which we always put a full match preview, and we do a preview of the shows going up on the network. So yeah, so join. If you've not joined our Championship Club, that's really the one to do, because you get the full catalog as we keep.
Right.
And every month, 2 shows are always updated in there every month, the 15th and the 3rd and the end of the month. So the 1st and the 15th, twice a month.
Okay, and before we get too deep into the show, I want to say something else. You know, anybody who's watching this on Instagram.
Oh yes, I forgot about that.
You know, yeah, it's fun watching stuff on social media. But you know, you jump over here, you can chat with us. We can't see your chats over on.
Can't see your comments. If you're commenting on Instagram, we can't see it. So you'd have to come over to YouTube, and then you can comment with us, and we can bring them in and talk about it, whatever questions you have. But you remember, just be appropriate with your questions. If it's any shady looking questions or funny business or inappropriateness, our moderators will eliminate those comments.
You know, we'll even respond to comments about us being washed up has-beens or never was, or, you know, what are you two old farts doing watching kids wrestle?
Yeah, we're watching ourselves, guys. Don't get too alarmed there.
Yeah.
I mean, this is us when we were kids. So it's not like we're watching kids. I mean.
Right.
And even if it is, so what? If they're doing professional wrestling, it's entertainment, you know? We're looking at it for the entertainment value.
You know, we're looking back at our history, sharing behind-the-scenes stories with you.
Yeah.
You know, you come over here, conversations can get real in depth.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
You know, you comment over on Instagram, we don't see it till we're done. We can't respond to you except typing on a keyboard.
And furthermore, after 60 minutes, it stops because Instagram limits
Yeah.
streams to 60 minutes. So we really encourage, we've already been going 20 minutes. So we encourage all our Instagram viewers to move over to YouTube. And the
you know,
YouTube link is right in our Instagram bio.
Well, you know, why don't you pop it up right here on screen? So
I can do that. Let's see here.
You know, and one thing to let our Instagram viewers know, I mean, our regular YouTube viewers know this, but you know how a lot of places won't put your comment up unless you pay to have it put up? You know, a super chat? We don't play that game here.
Right.
You know, super chats are appreciated. I mean, you know, we get super chats.
You know, on Forward, we get a lot of comments coming in sometimes with their guests, like we did on the last show. And there's so many coming in that I can't bring them all in. And so theirs were super chats. You know, I have to bring those in. However, if they were inappropriate, they just wasted their super chat because I won't bring in inappropriate comments, period.
Right.
So.
Well, you know, there's extenuating circumstances last show why.
Right. We're not going to talk and dwell on it, but just so you guys know that we loved our guest. We didn't like the comments. None of us did. Nobody, even the guest didn't. So we'll just leave it at that.
You know, okay, talking about our Champions Club and all that in our Vimeo account, what's coming up next on the Video Network?
Yeah, I got to show that. And let's take a look and see. Here's what we got coming up next, everybody. Let me get to the right screen. Yeah, this one here. So it's going to play a preview and then we'll talk about it. So here it comes. Ready, Dave?
I'm ready.
Here we go.
Yeah.
My tag team partner, Mr. X.
Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. No way. Nobody's throw Mr. X against the rope. It's the...
Oh, he went over the top rope. With a little squirt vert. Rough, Ryan.
Just, you know my number, give me a call. We'll go party somewhere. Okay, invader number 2.
It's about time they got some good guys in there. Well, he can go put out his bunnies, man. Because I'm not really good at put up with it.
Punch the lower part of the abdomen.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I think he'll have that match. What do you got to say about that, Steve?
Team title when his partner couldn't make it. He called me. Well, he blamed on me, and I just got even with him.
You know, I've never seen Rough Ryan so hurt since the Dynamite Dude match. Well, Rough Ryan, I hope you luck on your recovery. We might be able to see you next week, hopefully. Who knows? Eat that damn thing once.
Okay, Irish whip against the ropes. Oh, a clothesline by the Rock and Roller. Very impressive.
This is an all-out brawl. It's a pure class fight, and they're both going at it. No letting up. Here we go. He's hitting him with some type of nut chuck. Then he hit the ref. Back up on the second rope again. On the top rope again.
Get out of here, you fool! That Mr. X still, that he is going to take him and ring.
What's it gonna be? Oh!
Whoa!
Boy, did you see that at the end there? That body slam hitting the electrical cords kind of scared us all.
Yeah.
That's one of the.
I'm sure.
It was the only time we had something like that happen. But anyways, nobody got hurt there, but it was just kind of a scary thing. But yeah, that was Fred Moore Junior High taping. It's going to come up on the network as of the 1st, September
Yep.
1st. So
And, you
it's-
know, yeah, you'll get to see it here in 2 weeks, but
in a
it'll
few
only
weeks.
be in what, 720p?
Well, let's see. Actually, we don't get to see it on Rewind until October 9th. So
Oh,
yeah.
so
if you
yeah,
wanna-
I mean,
yeah.
you join the video network, you get it almost a month early.
Yeah, you get it early. And you know, and there was lots of that was awesome there. Rough Ryan surprised everybody with Mr. X as his tag team partner to go against the Super D's. And that was, I remember that was such a big deal for us because we had made it a mystery partner, and it was such a cool, that should have been a match. That should have been the main event.
Yeah.
But it was the first match of the show. And that was just really good. And Steve did so well. Like, you know, he didn't sell for you, Dave, but man, Steve
He was bumping and
well, Steve X or Mr. X could handle the Super D's for sure, right?
yeah.
But he sold his ass off for those two. They double drop kicked him right over the top rope, as you've seen in the previous. Steve did really well. I mean, for them, he did good. It was a very entertaining match at the time.
Well, I mean, the match philosophy was good. It was, you know, they were constantly double teaming him, so
yeah. Yeah, and that's where the Super D's were starting to learn the dives. I think that might have been the first time they did the double drop kick there in Fred Moore, because that's where they started learning that. It was a cool time. You can see in the clips there, in the highlights, the wrestling's really improving now in Fred Moore. It's
Right.
getting better, you know, as we approach this armory. That's the build up to the first armory card right now on that
Right.
particular show. So very interesting stuff. Again, Instagram viewers, come over to YouTube. Just go into the Instagram bio, pick the YouTube link, and get over here because we can't see your comments there. If you're watching on Instagram, and it's going to stop here in about 30 minutes, a little more than 30 minutes, it's going to stop over there anyway. So the show we're going to watch today is a Dri-Dock taping. So a lot of the little kids are gone now, but some of us juniors are still there, and you know, our younger kids. And this has got some good matches. I believe this is a show with Jamie McParland, the Irish Terror, against the Equalizer, who was 16 years old and built like a brick house, but greener than a hornet. I mean, the Green Hornet. He is a new definition of green.
yeah.
It's funny. The storyline was Luscious Larry trained him, right? Kayfabe story.
Yep.
Larry didn't train anybody. I'm the one that worked with the Equalizer and it didn't have much time. So I only could go over a few things. And I thought, you know, we don't have enough to show you everything, but we want to showcase you. We're going to showcase your strength. So I was just showing him 5, maybe, you know how Hogan had maybe 10 moves. All I showed him was maybe 5. Clothesline, body slam, you know, just power moves, right?
Right.
Pick him up and just drop him. And just simple stuff to really get him over for the, because I knew we could keep working with him and help, you know, keep developing him as time would go on. So it's kind of like, let's just show him enough to be deadly, and that's it. And
Right.
and you know, he went over pretty well. And Jamie would be the perfect person to put him in there with, because Jamie can bump. So, you know, yeah, it was a good match. And then that was a really good one there. That was the David versus Goliath. I think the preview's on YouTube. And then there's also, I was in a tag match with Dredd against the Russian Scorpions.
We're sorry you have to watch it, but it's part of the show.
The Russian Bear and the Russian Beast. The Bear, the worst wrestler on the entire roster. Not
Even
good.
worse than me.
The worst, because he wouldn't sell for anybody. Anybody. Not even Luscious Larry. So it's like, he was horrible. And so every time I had to get in the ring with him, and Ernie was not much better in this gimmick. Dirty Ernie, a whole different story, but this Russian character, they just made themselves too invincible. You've heard me complain about this before when we watch these guys. I'm going to have to do it again, because it's just, now the one thing I did though, Dave, this is the first time I bladed.
Ah.
Not the bad one, where I did it wrong. But yeah, I end up blading because I take the heat in this match, so I'm the one getting beat up, and I end up getting cut open, and so yeah, it'll be interesting to watch. We'll get to that. That's my match, and so there we go. So I wonder if this is the one where you're there, Dave. There's a show that you're there, and you see yourself going back and forth to the ring. We'll have to watch for it. This one is one of these tapings. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I was trying to work my way back into the NWF, but it was unsuccessful.
There was a show, and me and Dredd watched it, and they're like, "That's Dixie Dave." Maybe it's the next one coming up. But anyways,
well, it's whatever one Dredd appears with the DD boots.
Yeah, the DD boots. Yeah, because you brought them for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Sky Sports Video News says Keaton is doing really well. I like the way he uses the comments section to guide his questions to keep the interview going smoothly. Saw him again today, and he is doing great. Yeah, I didn't catch the show he did today. He had one of the micro wrestlers on. He was really excited for it, though.
Right.
That was earlier today. But the only thing we talked to Keaton about, he's got to do a better job of, though, is getting all the comments in. Like, he misses a lot of comments sometimes. So he needs to just keep an eye on that a little bit more. But other than that, he's doing really good. He's graduated from Podcast Academy, of Crusher's Podcast Academy. Ricky Henry, still in school on Crossen's Podcast Academy. So there's that. See, I can get under Ricky's skin when he's not even here. I love it. I love it.
Well, you can't say I haven't graduated from Crossen Podcast Academy because I'm the one that drug you into this whole deal.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, this is like 1988, beginning of 1988. We're going to start this show up here in a minute. So we can start watching some wrestling. But yeah, it's very early or later stuff. There's only a few more episodes to go here, and then we're going to hit the end of the NWF catalog, at least for the time being. There's some stuff we did in 1989 as pilot stuff, which we'll eventually put on as well, you know. But that was, it was real rough. It's rough stuff. It's just rough, you know.
Right.
The guys we had that we were trying to get trained and started they were just bodies, and they didn't really.
Well, you know, you never rang my phone. You could have brought Dixie Dave back.
Yeah. But some of these guys, some of them are pretty good though. Some of them weren't though. I mean, I'm talking about 1989 stuff. You guys have never even seen that. I don't think we've ever shown it on the channel or much of anything. Yeah, in that show we brought Invader 1 back, Invader 4 back. It's interesting to see those guys 2 or 3 years older.
Right.
Brought them guys back, and yeah, it was a fun time. We're doing it out at Troy's pole barn, you know, filming. We got a great little setup there. Worked out well.
And his mom didn't have a problem with it unless Troy got in trouble.
Yeah, but one time his mom locked us out of the pole barn for the weekend. She went off to see her boyfriend or whatever, and Troy and I, because Troy was screwed up in school or something, he didn't have permission to use the ring, and she knew he wanted to use the ring, and so she locked the pole barn up and said, nope, can't have it. So here me and Troy are all the time like, Troy, what do we do now? We're supposed to do a taping and everything. What are we going to do this weekend? Troy's like, what are we going to do? I'll show you what we're going to do. And he karate kicked that door in, and in we went. He just did a good old roundhouse kick and busted that door right open. That's how we got into the pole barn. And it busted the lock and everything. I don't know how Troy got on or dealt with his mom on that when she got back, but yeah. No, don't get between Troy and the wrestling ring. Oh, Slick Steenerson, such a character.
Oh, he was fun.
God, I miss him. I miss him.
Yeah. If you ever make it back here to Minnesota again, we're going to have to get together and go see him.
Yeah. I mean, he was such a character and such a good friend at the time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Troy and I hung out a lot. I mean, when I started driving and stuff, man, we were always, you know, it was funny too. Very, very funny.
And then once you went to Wisconsin,
what's that?
Once you went to Wisconsin, it was Slick and I running all weekend long.
Well, and then he got with Angie, and then everything went to a. Then he couldn't get a hold of Troy anymore.
Well, you know, I mean, I guess I'm partially to blame for that.
Yeah. Well, I say we start the show up and get that going.
Yeah, I
We
mean,
get that show going.
you know, and Instagram users, while Crusher's getting this going, you can switch over because,
Yeah.
you know, like 30 more minutes and you're going to get booted.
The stream's going to end on Instagram, so you won't be able to keep watching it. So you're going to want to come on YouTube to see it, keep playing. So yeah, let's bring it in and we'll start watching this. There we go. Again, this is Project Starlight Restoration. It's good. It's very good. It's really good on the channel. If you go to the Championship Club and that and see it in full 1080p HD when everything's been upscaled with Project Starlight. So, but here it's still cleaned up, but it's just not at the 1080p resolution because we limit it for the stream.
Right.
But you can tell by looking at it that this is very cleaned up. This used to be VHS. So you can see how nice it is now. Very cleaned up. Yep, 1988, folks. WrestleVision 88. Long time ago.
Feels like a lifetime ago.
Here's Crusher Crossen in with the Russians. I think we had to wrestle them like 3 different shows, maybe 4. It was painful every time.
Yeah.
Not physically, just being in there because they were not good. They didn't sell for you. I said it many times. There's Jeff Dinsmore, great guy. Hall of Famer.
NWF Hall of Famer.
Yep. As an announcer and Dr. Dread.
Technically the first man to be inducted twice in the same year.
Yeah. So Ricky Vaughn, that's Jamie McPartland, everybody. It's Jamie.
Ladies and gentlemen, you gotta see this guy. You saw him last week. How about a big hand for the Equalizer?
Yeah, like I said, very green, but that's why we put him with Jamie, because Jamie could bump for him, and he's just going to showcase him as a big, strong guy. That's the image of him. Wait till you see this Equalizer. Look at this kid. 16 years old, and he's built like a brick. Like a brick house, man. Chiseled. He was into bodybuilding. That was his big first forte. First love.
Right.
Yeah. Big kid. I think he played some football too as well. American football it is.
The Equalizer. This is his first time out. This man big. Been pumping the iron.
So yeah, look at this Equalizer, guys. But again, Jamie, perfect matchup here. Jamie knows how to sell. He knows how to work a match. Jamie is very seasoned right now for this.
Right.
You know, don't take it the fact that he's only 13 or 14 years old. He's been doing it for a year, and he's very, very. For the 1988 time period, he knew how to do a match. See what I'm saying? He's just. You know, it's exactly what you do with somebody like this. It's the chemistry. It's the match chemistry. I wish the camera would pick up his bumping, but...
No timeout in wrestling there, Ricky Vaughn. Look at the size of that Equalizer. He got himself a...
Oh, it's me commentating with Jeff Dinsmore. Me and Jeff are commentating. You hear it, Dave?
Oh, yeah.
See, we can hear you talk now with this new headset. I like it. You don't sound like the teacher on Charlie Brown.
Well, I thought maybe that was just you messing with the audio on the show.
No, wasn't that? You and Ricky got all sorts of conspiracy theories, don't you?
Well, you know, I mean, you know, facts are facts, you know.
So like I said, Equalizer doesn't know a whole lot right now, so you're not going to see a big showcase of moves because I only did limited stuff with them. You know, Jeff would always send me the new guys like this to get them going. Because I was probably one of the only ones I had the most experience at the time.
Right. I mean, at this point, you're 4 years into your career.
Yeah.
And what a debut. The NWF brings in top talent each and every week on this station. And this
now, in kayfabe world, they're saying Luscious Larry trained this guy. That was just because it made sense for the kayfabe storyline.
Right.
He said Luscious Junior.
See, Jeff just said Luscious Larry trained him.
Do it that way,
Yeah.
Ricky Von.
And I've
You
noticed
know-
he's notice closely. Equalizer's wearing Crusher Crossen's wrestling boots. See that?
Yeah.
What's this?
I kind of had a feeling about that, but I didn't want to call it out.
Yeah. Not everybody had boots, so we'd borrow our boots, you know, for these guys.
Yep.
Make them look a little bit better.
Notice how the clean expression.
See, now you're just gonna pick them up and drop them.
Look at this press. Goodbye.
Yeah. Simple stuff, right?
So, Crusher, who's this referee that we have here?
That's Donnie LeBeau. That's Jeff Dinsmore's uncle.
Oh,
The late Donnie LeBeau. He passed away, of course, but
okay. I mean, just looking at him,
because he's pretty old back then.
you know, just looking at him.
Marty Miller.
No, I wasn't thinking Marty Miller. He who shall not be named on this show.
I don't know who that is.
The voice of Minnesota Pro Wrestling.
Oh, a little bit heavier set.
Yeah. But, you know, you look at Donnie, you'll pick up on what I was saying.
Well, you know, Donnie had a twin brother, Ronnie, and they were identical twins.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Donnie and Ronnie LeBeau. I don't know if Ronnie refed. I know Donnie did, though. Now, this is another ref we got. I forget his name, but this is the other ref.
You know, next time we have a match with Donnie, look at him in the face.
Yeah? Yeah, he'll be out again. Chris Logan, another young kid. He's about 16 as well. So we got the Mystery Man and the Ice Dragon coming out with the Mystery Man eventually. And then we got Rick Pitts and Chris Logan. There's a blonde-haired kid in there. Another one that I worked with quite a bit to get going.
So allowing Rick to wrestle, was that a
Rick wanted to, so we
was
finally
that
gave
a good job at staying sober?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Yeah, Rick did all right. You know, Rick refed a lot of matches for a couple years, so he's seen a lot of it up close. He had a good idea how to do a match. It's one nice, good. That's one benefit of being a referee for that long. You pick up on things.
Right.
Yeah.
Because me and Dr. Dread will be after the Destructors.
Chris Logan's still, you know, still new, but you know, pretty good though.
You know, I see some psychology there. Them,
You're going to see a very first time here in
you know, them checking the referee.
ladies wrestlers.
What's that?
Right here. Yes.
Well, look for a couple minutes there, like they were trying to check out the referee. You know, give the referee the pat down.
Oh,
Steve Christensen says ring the bell. We're
Steve Christensen. That's that ref. That's name. I remember now. Steve Christensen. I think Steve Christensen. I'm not for sure, but I think he might have been Silver Bullet in the mask when he wrestled. I think. I don't think he was just a ref.
Well, you know, that's the history of the NWF. Everybody does double duty.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
Comment here. A couple comments. Sports Video says, Crusher, how old were you in this event? 17, and in a week or two, I'll be turning 18. So I was still 17, but only a week or two to go to be 18. You know, very close to the same age that Ricky is right now.
Look at the ease it took Destructors.
Ricky Henry, the Globetrotter. And Sky Sports Radio says, Crusher, your new video could pass today on some of the regular channels. It really looks impressive. You mean like the video quality of the restorations? Yeah. The only thing is, YouTube, when I stream it here and streaming it, makes it a little darker. It's not this dark when I restore it. It's kind of annoying. Something with the encoding.
Yeah.
I think when you watch it on the Vimeo network, it's a little better. It doesn't have that.
Yes, the Rock and Roll Express, or excuse me, now they're called the, I believe they changed their name. So
Yeah, Rock and Roll Express changed their name to Double Trouble.
I keep wanting to call them the Rack and Roll Express.
Are they who are
Not
they?
rock and roll, rack and roll.
Right, that's how they're known.
That. Rack and roll, okay?
I never liked.
Who are they going against?
I really wish everybody wouldn't keep changing their names.
That's coming up tonight.
Not a fan of that,
Right
Dave.
here on our show.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so the Express.
I really didn't like the Barbarians doing that. Vandar and Conan.
No.
Because they were the Barbarians, right?
Yeah.
And whoever we select for the fan of the month, they'll be able to come down to the
For some reason, though, Tim wanted to get away from that whole gimmick.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of
And
fun.
that, you know, would be fun. It really would. And so,
I've got my favorite. I'd like
So
to
what we got in the
know
ring there is John Hoffman. Looks like he's basically taking the spot of Ice Dragon.
no, I really did.
Well, you know, I got my favorite.
So it's the Mystery Man and one half of the Destructors against
Give
Rick
your
Pitts
thoughts
and
wrestler to qualify.
Chris Logan.
Just mail that to
But yeah, John Hoffman, interesting about him, the guy in there punching, he was a boxer. He did boxing for probably 7-8 years in Golden Gloves boxing, went to nationals, was really good, became a professional boxer and promoter eventually in Minnesota. Very
Yep.
good. And I was just telling Ricky about this the other day. The problem we have with John when he first came in is he'd like to throw his strikes and jabs and stuff, but he's a boxer. He's trained to box. They're not trained to pull punches. I had to tell him a lot of times, John, we got to pull that. You got to pull your punch, man. You've got to pull your punch.
They need some good officiating.
He's just not used to that. You know, boxing, they're trained not to do that. So it's like you got to get it out of their head, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is he?
I don't know.
You know, he needed to learn to differentiate between the two sports.
You know, who knows? Anything could happen.
Wayne's here. He says, that's good because they wouldn't want to be confused with the other Rock and Roll Express. Yeah, Rock and Roll. That's why they call themselves Rack and Roll. But again,
And that
if I
might
go
be
back
why
in
they.
time, if I go back in time, Dave, I'd say, no, come up with another name. Come up with
Yeah.
another name.
I give up.
Yeah. Not a
That's
fan
probably
of that
why they
name.
changed Double Trouble.
I think so.
We saw this last
They probably realized that was not the best name either.
Man,
So Hitman Hernandez.
out here.
Or no, never mind. Mystery Man. It's Mystery
They
Man.
are. They're teaming and they're looking good. And I'm, you know,
Mystery Man could work. He was
Yeah.
good. He was a manager. Started out as a manager, then became a wrestler.
Well-
And kept managing.
Wasn't that partially due to Gary's injury?
oh, there they got him.
Nah, not really. I think Mystery Man just wanted to start wrestling as well, and
Where's Destructors?
Yeah.
Yes.
Leslie, I should say Leslie, it was his name, and
I don't know.
he was really good. I had some good matches with him. I worked a couple matches with him. In fact, we'll see it coming up here in the next couple Dri-Dock shows. Or the next one from this one, I think I wrestled him.
But I'll tell you, like I said, me and
And,
we're going to be dealing with the Destructors as soon as we can. As minute
I had good matches with Leslie. No complaints. Very, very easy to work with in the ring. Mystery Man.
Right.
Same with this guy, John Hoffman. Other than the punching, he was very smooth to work with as well.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, they're trying to be friends with us, you see. Coming out to the ring with us and stuff. Trying to be friends, but friends are friends, but titles are titles.
And Chris Logan.
Oh, right in the head.
Yeah, you don't want to go. Don't start swinging with John Hoffman.
Rose here.
Not a
It's a
smart idea.
losing battle.
Yeah,
Wrong place to be.
yeah.
To show you where the wise is in the ring.
And Rick Pitts getting involved.
Whoa, just tackled him down.
Chris Logan had a good look. Kind of a Tommy Wildfire Rich look, don't you think?
Yeah.
Dave?
These guys be better off just to bail out.
A young Tommy Wildfire Rich when he wasn't overweight.
And the NWA World Champion Tommy Rich.
Yeah, there's a lot of all sorts of stories on how that happened and why it happened. A lot of people say it was just a fluke, should have never happened to begin with.
I tell you, it's been
Yeah.
an exciting
Well,
And
may
he
have been
was
a
a
fluke.
he was a champion for a week, wasn't it? Week.
Week or two, something like that. But
Yeah.
He missed him.
That kind of stuff happens.
That just goes to show
You know.
your, inexperience in the ring.
And I've actually seen Tommy
These Destructors have
live.
been around. Mr. Man
I
has
did
been
too.
around.
I seen him when he came to the AWA in the mid '80s or late '80s.
I mean, he always seems
Right.
to be there at the right time for the
Well, I saw him when I was down in Florida visiting with my dad.
So when I seen him, he had already kind of put on a few pounds. Wasn't the same as he was back then when he was champion.
I thought he might have just went and
No, I saw him early to mid '80s.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess everybody
Down
has
in
their style.
Continental Wrestling.
Yes, I guess so.
Yeah.
Speaking of style,
But yeah, this restoration, I mean, besides it being dark, and like I said, that's just an encoding thing with YouTube.
Dr. Dread got a piece of somebody
But,
I've never seen
In this StreamYard and that, it just when it plays back the encoding, it just shows it a little darker than what it should be.
I was at
So
ringside.
kind of annoying. But
Yeah, they are somewhat alike, but nothing like the Doctors. Silverhawk's got
The
some learning to do.
restoration is
He's
so
gonna
nice
be
and cleaned up now
held off
compared to
more
what it used to
experience,
be
so
on
you
the
gotta
Snow
take that into
Project Starlight.
consideration.
And when you go to the channels, like the memberships, become a membership club on the YouTube channel, you can see this stuff in 1080p. Right now,
Yeah.
we're seeing this in about half that resolution.
It's
But
over. I missed it. Whoa! What happened?
what happened there? I missed it too.
Let me get Steve Christian's
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Rick Pitts and Chris Logan.
by pinfall. I
I
believe.
missed it. It was
By
by
pin.
pinfall. I apologize to those guys. Whoa. I was about to tell you about Pretty Boy Taylor. We'll get back to that right after this. It's action continuing galore. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with more right after
I don't want this one to end.
Somebody get in there.
Yeah, they were upset because
Hey, do you know what that address is for the Fan of the Month Club?
what's that?
That was the house you went to get the DVDs.
I was gonna say I finally looked at the Richfield and I was like,
Yeah,
must have been that house.
we got a few letters, you know. The deal was if they become a Fan of the Month Club, they get to come to the Dri-Dock free, get a free 2 free tickets, and they get to escort their favorite wrestler to the ring.
Ah.
Kind of a cool thing.
Last week, ladies and gentlemen, coming up right now. We're going to ask him to come to the ring right now. Out of the East Coast, ladies and
Let's see.
Hitman Hernandez.
Hitman Hernandez. Jeff says he so. I like the character. I thought he had a good gimmick.
Right.
Didn't always sell for everybody. Got a little selfish in the ring with his moveset, but I did like his gimmick.
Right.
Sports Talk 117, your video shorts on YouTube are really funny. It shows the character of the show. Yeah, I try to find interesting, funny things or interesting things we talk about, right? To make it, that's the whole idea of the shorts. And now I learned shorts can go up to 3 minutes long, so I can sometimes make them longer. So
Right.
I will do that now and then.
I might add. And look at Larry's in shorts this week.
So Luscious Larry against Hitman Hernandez. This is a match we've been building up from a couple Dri-Dock shows ago.
Still to come, ladies and gentlemen.
I never liked the tuxedo top that Larry always wore. You know, that undershirt of a tuxedo?
Yeah.
It doesn't look, his image and everything doesn't go. Doesn't go.
No. But he's trying to be a Chippendale type.
Is that it? Is that it?
All right, Dave, hold on to the fort here for me.
Okay. All right, Luscious Larry, I've got my own opinion on. But,
Yeah, that's true.
Hitman Hernandez, I'm not real familiar with.
And he's been around the world.
He's been in the NWF before too.
Yes, he has.
So, but as Crusher said, this shirt that Larry wears,
The Unoka Armory sellout crowd, October.
it looks like he's trying to
1986.
partial
Those memories just can't go away.
pirate costume.
I'm here to tell you, this guy is,
Of course, we can't forget his feuds with Pretty Boy Taylor.
no.
Obviously, Luscious Larry has
Sorry
a lady friend at the ring.
That match, but Pretty Boy Taylor was injured in a match down in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
So we
My opinion, Luscious Larry, not so luscious.
Outlaw the end Dallas. And we do not know the extent of the injury. We do know that he is injured, and when he'll be back, I don't know.
Luscious Larry,
Dallas is the new
as Crusher and I have said,
WWF Junior Heavyweight Champion.
great body,
No, I thought.
didn't really have a brain for the business.
Ricky Vaughn is the junior lightweight champion. That's right.
Whoa!
Oh, look at these two bulls. Look at these
Talk
two
about.
All right, I'm back.
There's
Okay.
a mirror in between them
I've been
two.
waiting
Had
for
to
this
take
one.
care
I
of the
wanted to see
door.
this one. Hitman
I
Hernandez,
was just commenting about Larry having
I've given it to him.
a good body,
Leslie Stevens.
but no brain for the business.
Oh, look
He
out.
took
Yeah.
the down.
Yeah, he didn't know how to promote himself, didn't know how to promote wrestling, didn't know.
No, you don't.
If he just would have listened,
Right.
man, we could have done a lot with
Drops to
him.
the arm. That's effective. Now he's got an arm bar.
And not exactly the greatest worker,
Hitman knows what he's doing in there. We gotta give him
He
credit.
does. He does.
you know.
He's been around. He's been in
Just
the
for things. This is funny.
And also we
Can we
wanna
make
say,
guys of the
welcome back.
Fun of the size of his bladder. No, it's not that.
Shirt up there.
I'm expecting packages, and I don't want to miss it if I have to sign for something.
Yes, Keith, he
So that
real
was
rapper,
just
believe me.
UPS.
My match with Dr.
Ah.
in the Dri-Dock.
Right here at the Dri-Dock.
I have a score to
It's a bit
say.
early to be ordering my birthday present, Crusher.
Yeah.
You know,
coming up later on this month, hopefully, if we get our act together.
Yes, it's just the darkness. I don't like the darkness, but other than that,
Yes, I've been working on it. Yeah, there's a lot of up and runners for that, and of course, nobody knows till they watch the show on who.
You know,
yeah,
one
this
thing,
was a good feud.
yeah. One thing they were commenting on, I don't know why they were doing it during this match, but they were commenting on Ricky Vaughn being the light heavyweight champion.
This match will be the match of the year. All of them.
Yeah, I heard that too.
That remains to be seen.
I don't know if that was the plan or what, but yeah. You know, the idea was to keep the junior division going. It wasn't like we were they weren't trying to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And Jamie was definitely the most seasoned of any of them for that, you know, that age. You know, the beeping there was heavy. You know, we can't mention ticket prices, and I think Jeff mentioned a ticket price.
Why you should be here is last week.
Yeah.
Luscious Larry getting his leg wrapped around
For a second, I thought maybe it was just my headset acting up, but I was like, no,
And that was a classic.
it's brand new.
He's got a little upper hand, I might be safe to say.
Oh, we can actually hear you, Dave. This is crazy. I'm really not used to hearing you right now.
Well, you know, I mean, the fans get the pleasure of hearing Dixie Dave now.
Do we sound, by the way, guys, does our audio sound the same? Like, am I just as loud as Dave, and is Dave just as loud as me? I'm curious.
Or am I too loud now?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good. Sounds good to me.
Going against the ropes.
Larry already looks gassed.
He probably is. All the steroids.
But you see what I'm doing? He's
Larry wasn't the best conditioned wrestler. Look, he's just breathing and see he's gassed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is forming up. He's gaining a little weight.
All right.
You
Good.
know-
Damien says our audio's good. All right.
You see what I mean?
You know, that's the thing about Larry.
Too much chow mein in Japan.
He,
Elapsed time 5 minutes.
you know,
5 minutes remain in the match.
physically, he looked great.
Sorry that we do have to make these
But he
matches,
just
10
wasn't-
minutes, but we gotta get them all in. We got some great flying drop kick.
That's one thing I don't like about
Who do we got coming up next?
Larry.
We've got
What's that?
The Express.
Okay, he's supposed to be a power wrestler.
And he throws a drop kick.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just trying to just show that he can do other moves, I guess. But yeah, he shouldn't. Yeah, you'd never see Hogan do a drop kick.
Unless he's in Japan.
Right.
Which was formerly the Rack and Roll Express.
You know, but power wrestlers normally didn't throw drop kicks. I mean,
Oh, look at that. Oh, Larry, help
You know, Larry's trying to get the crowd going. He's doing what he can, but Hitman should be doing a better job getting the crowd against him. Like, he's not. Hitman's not interacting with the crowd enough here.
he's not getting himself heat.
He's not getting any heat. Yep, exactly.
This is Luscious Larry. He is back.
And he should be.
Never.
at his finest. He's looking good.
Well,
See him back in the
we're all experts today, I guess, right?
Yeah.
about a clothesline. That'll put you into the middle of next week.
But you know, I mean, between the two of us,
What an improvement on 100%.
we do have almost a century of wrestling knowledge.
He has got some lights up, baby.
Yeah.
He had been up 3 feet in the air.
Larry's leg drop got a lot better there, I noticed, and I even commented on it in the commentating at the time. You know,
Oh, nobody home.
good try. Sorry, phone's going off. Let me fix that.
Both of these men are out. Oh, now he's going
Oh, and I seen those. Look at Larry's back.
Ooh, a forearm. Oh, another one. Oh, man.
He's just trying to
Tremendous
humiliate
forearms
Larry.
to the
That's
chest
all.
of Luscious Larry.
Larry's gonna come back. I can feel it. You can feel it in the air.
You know, Hitman had a nice look though, flamboyant. Had
Yeah.
a good gimmick. He could do a really good promo, but he just didn't know how to get heat in a match.
I do.
Look out. This
He doesn't know how to
Just-
interact with the crowd
Yeah.
in a match.
Exactly, or his opponent.
Right.
Like he could be doing things to Larry to get heat, and he's not.
3 minutes left in this match. A bear hug.
I'll give you an example. When Ricky was wrestling kayfabe with Keaton, at one point he yells out,
Could this be it? Could
"This is not a wrestler. I'm a wrestler," and he elbow drops. Right? Gets heat. He gets heat. That's all about getting heat, guys. And you got to do that in a match. If you're a heel, you got to be a heel.
Right.
That's what I was trying to say last week. There's crappy heels that don't do that, and they're just crappy heels. Like, you know, they don't get the heat.
You gotta save, but trying to get him in that figure four, and he's on the road.
You know, I mean, it.
2 minutes remain. 2 minutes.
We got 2 minutes left in this.
You know, it's like throughout my career, I went back and forth between babyface and heel.
He's off timing. He should be.
You know, you look at the Brooklyn Park Armory. I went out and
I think he's stalling for time.
got heat with the crowd.
Right.
He's got a mouth bigger
You
than
know.
the end of the Mississippi.
Well, he's kind of quiet now. He's met his match.
Yeah, you can tell by looking at him.
As Luscious Larry.
Tremendous work by Bad Productions, always. As always.
Yes, always. Greg Bushman and the crew.
Whoa, backbreaker.
1 minute remaining in the match.
Bruno Backberry.
Yeah, you don't see that move a whole lot anymore.
They're in the rope.
Oh, look at that. That whole ring moved.
I know.
That whole ring moved.
Either that or we moved and ended in the ring.
Man.
Monitor just jumped up off the table just a
I
little.
thought we lost it. Both these men are.
Yeah, I loved commentating with Jeff. It's so good to commentate with.
Look at these guys. Look at this. Sunset flip.
I enjoyed
Look
commentating
out.
with Jeff.
1, 2. Oh, he nailed him. Oh, man.
You know, watching this match, my biggest
Come on, Larry. I hate to be biased, but I can't help
my
it.
biggest problem with this match is their ring awareness.
7,
Yeah.
6, 5, 4, 3.
He got it. He got it.
I think that was supposed to be.
Larry.
They didn't time it right. Larry ended up winning. It was supposed to be
A time limit draw.
a time limit draw with the 3 count. They didn't miss. And again, Larry didn't time it. Larry is horrible at timing things. In the October card, he completely messed up the timing of that one. We had to extend it by 2 minutes
Yeah.
because Larry was gassed. And that one too. Oh yeah. Now here's you see a good promo by Hitman. Let's see what I'm talking about. He could do a good interview.
You will be suspended for this, believe me. What do you mean? You will be suspended. Get out of here. Get out of here. We don't have no time to talk to you.
I want to talk to you.
You got a half a minute.
This body is insured by Lloyd's of London. You see what he tried to do to me, and that's what chumps get.
You mean 1, 2, 3.
Sir Roy was here and he got the boot.
Sir Roy is not here. He has been suspended also. Ladies and gentlemen, Luscious Larry is your winner. That's our winner.
Keep count right now.
You will be heavily fined, my friend, if not suspended.
Yeah, Jeff was our acting promoter.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. Don't go away.
And what was his what was his fine? He had to buy Jeff a drink at the Dri-Dock.
Yeah, right. All the kayfabe stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
Everybody comes in to check up on Luscious, who was perfectly fine. It's all a storyline here.
Only problem with Larry is he was gassed.
Yeah, he gassed out a lot.
Yeah.
This must be the double trouble match. Chris Barger and Mike Bauer. So Thandar the Barbarian and Terrific Tim. Thandar going by Tom Tyler now.
Yep.
Started with us in 1985 and now it's 1988.
Their opponents, ladies and gentlemen, making their debut as a tag team. First of all, the NWF Heavyweight Champion Grizzly Stevens.
Oh, it's not double trouble.
Making his debut, the Predator.
It's Grizzly Stevens and the Predator. Interesting.
Thank you, Jeff. And we're
Predator was a nice guy. He was a bodyguard at one of the bars in town there, and I used to run into him a lot at the Georges and Fred League matches that I had.
Yeah.
He'd be there usually with Jeff.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Stevens and the Predator, they're big men, but the two they're going against should not be taken lightly.
Nice guy. And Grizzly was super nice.
Oh yeah. That's what I remember about Grizz is nice as could be.
Oh yeah. Not a mean bone in his body. Should have never. There was a time where he became a heel. He should have never been a heel. He's anything but.
Terrific team in the corner.
Yeah, it's like this is a lumberjack match. It isn't. They got what?
There goes Tom Tyler.
Grizzly played a heel.
Yeah, he went heel for a while after I left.
To me, that's almost like Ricky Steamboat turning heel.
It was really cheesy the way they did it. Grizzly was in a mask, and you didn't know supposed to know it was Grizzly Stevens. And then when the mask comes off, then he's doing like he's a bad guy, right?
Yeah.
But the mask he was wearing was one of those little Halloween masks with the string that goes behind your hair
Yeah.
and just covers your face only.
Unbelievable.
You knew it was Grizzly.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, he should have had an actual hood.
And he's doing pretty good.
An
Yeah.
actual wrestling mask.
Fans getting into it here at the Dri-Dock. Been a blizzardy day out today, and I tell you.
Let's see. We do have a question. Sports Video says, Crusher, it's hard to tell from the video about how many fans were at this show. This particular one? Pretty good crowd. It's not our biggest.
Professional wrestling, and you bet they've been working out. As a matter of fact,
The one that we have,
sign out ring time for what
I don't know, the one,
I usually go in at about 2 o'clock.
we had one that was a really big crowd.
Each and every week.
I think it was the one where I came back after I got busted open and I came back the next show to get my revenge match. That show, I think, had our largest crowd. Well, the biggest crowd we ever had in the Dri-Dock, because it's not a big place, was probably around 100 people.
Yeah.
And that's like, most of them are in the ring, and the other part are in the other part where it was closed circuited to the TV, big TV monitor in the other part of the Dri-Dock.
Yeah.
So you could have people watching over there too, and kind of a closed circuited monitor in that part of the building. Because there were like 2 seating areas. And this show, I'd say maybe 50 to 60 people there probably.
Well, I was going to say from my memory of the Dri-Dock, I was going to say, what, about 50 to 100?
Yeah. 100 on the high end.
Destructors for the
Yeah.
World Tag Team Championships. And then Dynamite or Outlaw Dion Dallas against the Silverhawk, and then the chain match.
Yeah, and I will be out there.
Very similar crowd to what they have in the dojo in Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
You know, when it's, unless it's packed. Like when we have like the big shows or the bigger cards, there's like, and they'll pan the camera and you'll see everybody. It's just packed in there like sardines.
Right.
That was more around 100 on those days.
There's enough people over there as it is. It looks like a
That's terrific. Tim, late Tim, he passed away, I think, last year. Yeah, heart conditions.
double teaming and Grizzly claw over him.
Oh, it's me and Jamie McParlin commentating right now. Isn't that interesting?
Macho's distract, or Jimmy Void is distract. Jimmy,
Yeah.
Mr. Macho Void.
Mr. Macho changed his name to Jimmy Void.
Is just working. Oh,
He's in the corner there
confusion here. Please.
With Tim?
stay with us.
with Tim. Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, Tim and Tim.
Okay.
Okay, suplex probably.
You know, I mean, if they would have stuck it out as a tag team,
Here's a tag, in comes Grizzly Stevens.
you know, they could have been called TNT.
Yeah.
Knees to the gut. A terrific
Grizzly's a
win.
good hand in the ring too. Good
There they go.
Yeah.
take bombs, could work with you, could do anything. Yeah.
Packed with action.
I never had a match with Grizzly, but he was, from what I remember, he was very easy to work with.
Tom Tyler, the former world champion.
From others, what others told me.
Suplex. Whoa. Fans loving every minute of it.
Look at their man.
Donnie LeBeau trying to take care of what's going on. And what's going on in the area.
Here's a good question that we haven't seen from somebody. Josh Kresnik. Hope I'm pronouncing that right.
And
Do you and Dave live close in real life? Well, we used to.
Yeah.
You were
Now
off in
we
Minnesota.
are 1,000 miles apart.
Yeah, I'm in Utah and he's in Minnesota still.
this guy is a bouncer. He knows
So,
what he's doing when it comes
but
to
obviously
doing
we've met up
business.
in recent years. When I went back home, I still have family back in Minnesota, so I visit there every now and then.
It's the Indian Deathlock,
You know.
I was gonna say. The Scorpion Deathlock.
The Scorpion Deathlock is what that is, actually.
It's doing.
Yep.
Interesting that there's a young lady in the corner there with him. You see that? I don't know who that is.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, your winners, right here.
Here comes Jimmy Voigt. So yeah, submission, huh?
Winners of the match, the new tag team, world champion Grizzly Stevens and the
Damien says, Pressure, with some of the wrestlers being older than you, did you ever have a problem of the older wrestlers drinking before or at a show? The only drinking problem that I remember was Rick Pitts.
Yeah.
Because I'm not trying to bash him, but he was an alcoholic.
And these shows at the Dri-Dock, as I remember, there's a reason it was called the Dri-Dock.
Yeah, it's a non-alcoholic bar. So there's no
Right.
drinking. Nobody's drinking in there.
You're on.
But no, I don't. Rick Pitts definitely was a problem at the July Armory card. And he'd be buzzed at a few other deals too, but not. He was smashed at the July Armory card.
Right.
And I had to have a talking with him. I had to say, Rick, you got to sober up. This isn't working. You just screwed up a finish. And then he screwed up my finish with Mr. X as well. Supposed to be at Broadway, and he ended up doing a 3 count. Ugh. I can only go back in time. I should have just yanked him off the thing. When I realized he was smashed, I should have said, Rick, you're taking the night off. I'm going to use the other ref. We had 2 refs that night. I could have just went with the other one.
Yeah.
Should have done that. Oh, well. Lesson learned. But no, Rick was the only one. Nobody, there was nobody that came high or stoned or drunk other than Rick Pitts.
Right.
Nobody had. No, some of the guys smoking cigarettes? Yeah. A lot of us did back then. That was the 80s, guys.
Yeah. Different time, different era.
Different era, yeah. Different time, different era. Thank God I quit. But, yeah, I smoked for a while myself. I think we've talked about that.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. So Josh wants to know now, I think you meant were you making money as a kid doing this, and was it a lot? Nobody personally made money as a personal benefit, but yes, we did bring in a lot of money. When we did Armory shows, I'll give you an example. When we sold out the Anoka Armory that Dave talks so fondly about, when we had 450 fans show up to there, and I was 16 at the time when we promoted that. It was 1986. Between the ticket sales, and then we had program guides, brochures, program guides that we print up and sell as well, and make money on that. We had concessions that we ran that we make money on. Plus, we had sponsors and advertisements for the posters and stuff, and we got sponsors. And when you added it all up, we made just over $3,000. And in that time period, that was a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
You're talking 1986, $3,000? Yeah.
Especially to a 16-year-old kid.
Yeah. So, and what we did with all that money is we just reinvested it into the show. So
Bought more wood for the ring. There was one thing that we did do that wasn't so much reinvesting. We had that party at the pizza joint.
Yeah, we did throw a big pizza party for everybody because that was, just to celebrate, because it was such a big. I'll tell you something. To draw 450 paid fans to our show, largely kids wrestling, man, that was an accomplishment.
Yeah, I mean, the only adults on the show
was Luscious Larry.
Larry and Steve.
Larry and Steve, for that main event for that show. And Wayne was there. Wayne knows all about that. He can contest. I think Wayne's still in the audience, or in the crowd here. He can tell you there was a lot of people there, and just crazy to see all the people in the Armory packed in there. I mean, it was just, I can remember standing out, outside the locker room looking at the crowd, as the matches were going on, just seeing this big crowd. It was crazy. And that we had some other big ones there. We did a couple other Armory shows that drew over 300 fans. Our very first Armory was 300 fans. Then we did another one in '87 that drew 300, Night of Wrestling.
Yep.
Oddly enough, when the NWA came to town, Jim Crockett Promotions, first time in Minnesota, we went up against them head-to-head inadvertently.
Yeah.
And we drew 70 fans. So that was pretty impressive to draw 70 fans on that night, because a lot of wrestling fans were at that show. The Jim Crockett show.
I was there.
Yeah.
That was the night the NWF and UWF teamed up, and
Yeah, it was March 20th, 1987. Yeah, so I just got Josh's coming in. Anyway. So yeah, we were making money, but nobody benefited from it personally. Like nobody like earned. Although I got to take that back. At around this time, the Dri-Dock, when Jim Mitchell got involved, they started paying the guys because Jim Mitchell started to do a merger with the NWF and then turned it into NCWA. And that happens after, I don't know, another 6 or 7 months from this time period right now. I left. Eddie Sharkey told me to stay away from Jim Mitchell, and I always listened to Eddie, so I had nothing to do with Jim Mitchell.
Right.
But yeah, he more or less took the league over, changed it to NCWA, and then he started paying the guys, but they were only getting like $5 or $10 a match. It was real. He was paying them. When Eddie Sharkey would pay us, we'd make $30, $40.
Right.
Which is pretty good. 86, you know? I'd say around 40. Mitchell was paying $5 to $10. He was a cheapskate. He was a cheapskate promoter. Yeah. Paid dirt cheap. Mm-hmm. I don't know, Wayne, if you know much of the stories of Jim Mitchell, but I don't know if Wayne's still there or not.
That's Don, isn't it?
Oh, reffing? Let's take a look here. I think that's Steve Christensen, the other ref. I think that's him in the Silverhawk mask. But yeah, this is, that's Don LeBeau. Yeah, with the glasses and the mustache, I think I can see where you're saying it. A little bit of a Mick Karsh look, but chubbier.
Yeah.
Mick was skinny.
One of the most vicious, tenacious people in the NWF today. Referee signaling for the bell. We got a handshake in the middle of the ring.
Yeah, these guys do a kind of a little more technical of a match.
Yeah.
You know, Dean had a bit of amateur background. And I think Silverhawk did as well. So they kind of do a little bit of like, this would be as close to British chain as you're going to see American style.
Right.
Men who have previously faced each other and
Have some respect.
Have quite a bit of respect for each other. I'm having a little difficulty with my microphone here, so bear with me, folks.
Lock up by Dion Dallas.
And Silverhawk puts him into the ropes. Irish whip.
Oh,
knee lift.
Oh, I think he hit his head up.
Well, for guys having respect for each other, you know, the knee to the gut isn't a very...
Well, they're still going to do some flashy moves as well.
Yeah.
February 16th. It's going to be great.
You know, they're not going to do all technical wrestling, but they do. I know they do get technical in this one.
Wrestling. Cameras can't pick up as much as you can.
Do a lot of holds and stuff.
That's true. You don't have the benefit of peripheral vision with the TV camera. You're stuck with the 3x4 format of a television screen. And sure, TV cameras can get you the close-up
I think that's Jamie commentating.
Yep, look at Dion bridging out of it.
And see the wrestlers and
yeah, a little bit of technicality here.
And it's just phenomenal what's available coming to you live at a professional wrestling match.
You know, that tarp was... I like the canvas better. I know Jamie complains about getting mat burns, but this tarp was kind of slippery. You could lose your footing.
Yeah.
Referee's getting on him about it.
Canvas was better.
Yeah.
We eventually got a canvas for this ring.
Well, I thought we had a canvas.
We did. I mean, that was later in 1989 when we got the ring back, and they actually had a light blue canvas with it at that point. Then it's better. Yeah. I remember Troy Senerson babied that canvas. He'd yell at you if you had your shoes on.
Oh yeah.
Mat. Oh yeah.
I remember going out there.
Is very scientific.
We'd head out to the ring, and
these wrestlers are going for
Troy'd be like, "Shoes off."
That, quite frankly,
well, you know, there's a reason. Like, remember how wrestlers would enter the ring? They'd always wipe their feet on the apron before they'd step in.
Oh yeah.
It's out of respect.
Yep.
You know. Oh, there's Wayne. He is there. So he says, to my question, I never got to hear any Jim Mitchell stories. Yeah, the best way to describe Jim Mitchell and Eddie Sharkey is Eddie Sharkey was a promoter and a trainer. Jim Mitchell was a carny.
Yeah.
You know, just got a little bit of training under his skin, got in with Vern for a bit, and then thought he was a very prominent person in the business. He really didn't know a whole lot. and he would hoodwink a lot of people and make a lot of empty promises.
Right.
When I mentioned to Eddie Sharkey that Jim Mitchell showed up at our very first Armory card, the first thing Eddie Sharkey told me was,
Stay away from the kid.
He's bad news. Stay away from him. Bad news. And I was so much respect for Eddie Sharkey at that time that I listened to everything he said, and I didn't have anything to do with it with Jim Mitchell. When I heard Jim Mitchell was coming in, that's when I bailed out. I'm like, I'm done. I'm going to concentrate on my college degree right now, and I'm out of here. You know. So, then Eddie Sharkey talked me into coming back into it again, and that's when I showed up in the PWA.
Yeah, well,
Yep.
earlier this new guy, what's his name?
The Equalizer.
Yeah.
The Equalizer, a new person who's just come into the NWF.
The Equalizer, yeah.
For his size, I mean.
Yeah, I remember when you joined up with
from what I understand, he's about
with Eddie.
17 years old.
You and Troy had that nice yellow belt.
Dion Dallas has got him up.
Well, that's the belt Troy made for the title. Yeah.
Very good tag team.
I didn't have it. Maybe Steve helped him with it. I didn't make that one. I made the black version of it. We got two versions of that middleweight belt. I still got the one I had, the black one.
Yeah.
That match when he dropped me on my face, I had to take a couple and ask.
It's not nearly as nice as these on the back wall, but
Dion Dallas is your winner.
Dion gets the win.
Yep.
Dion very wiry, but good wrestler. Good wrestler.
Seen it right there, fans.
Yes, you saw it right there. He finished him off with that variation of the power slam.
He'll be back.
Not quite a Barry Windham, but
No, he's a little, wiry and scrawny, kind of like Ricky. Kind of like Ricky Henry. The Globetrotter. You know what I call him, Dave?
what's that?
The Road Runner. And you know why? Because he runs from me. He always makes excuses up why he can't get in the ring with me, too. You ever notice?
Russian chain match.
Well, I mean,
In the ring right now, the tag team of
he doesn't want to get
Dr. Dread and
arrested
Crusher
for
Crossen.
abuse of a senior citizen, so I understand.
I'll sign a waiver.
They're going to be
I'll sign a
facing
waiver.
chain match. The
Let's
tag
see him get
team
in.
of the
Let's see him
Fair
put up or
Women,
shut up.
the Russian
Now, we got Crusher Crossen and Dr. Dread against the Russian Scorpions in a Russian chain match. Not a traditional chain match. It's just a loose chain, and you basically get like a minute with the chain. Each team gets a minute to have the chain and use it any way they want. Yeah, I didn't like this. It wasn't a good way to do a chain match. I do get split open, though. I blade here. I will tell you that. So dark, though. I don't know if you'll notice it much, but see a little bit of it.
Dread looks ready for this match.
I hated wrestling these guys. Even Ernie, I would much rather wrestle Dirty Ernie and think Dirty Ernie gimmick, not this Russian guy. His
Yeah.
Russian bear or Russian beast character wasn't the best, and the Russian bear should have never even been in it.
The so-called side of good for so long.
Dave, he was. I can honestly say he was the worst ever in the entire league,
Yeah.
and I'm not joking.
And that's saying something.
Yeah, I mean, he was just a big fat guy who wouldn't sell for you. I mean, just watch him. Just watch him. I don't think he ever sells a damn thing.
Regular tag team rules, but there's one stipulation. The referee is holding a 2-foot-long steel chain. There will be a coin toss at the start of the match, and the winner of the coin toss will be allowed to use the chain for 1 minute. If they're not able to pin the person in that 1 minute, the chain goes to the opposing team, and they get to use it for 1 minute. And you have to wrestle tag team rules, and there's only winner by pinfall or submission. No count out, no disqualification. Those are the rules. We're going to have a coin toss right now by the referee.
See, I don't like this kind of. The chain match I did with Slick Stenerson was great. There was a chain, we were handcuffed to the chain, and there was a chain between us. We had a big long chain between us. That's how you do a chain match.
Yeah.
Not this stuff. Now I take the heat in this match, so I'm the one that's going to be getting beat up on here, and that's why I end up getting busted open. So you watch for that. But
and keep an eye on this.
Dread's going to be more offensive than I'm the one that when I come in there, I'm pretty much just get beat up. So
Russian Scorpion in the head.
And that would be Ernie.
And the Russian
Yeah, and that's Ernie. Not selling. I mean, come on, you just got hit with the metal chain.
knee lip to the midsection.
Dave, I'm going to nitpick it. I'm going to nitpick it.
Oh, I know.
Ernie's better, though. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. He's much better than the Bear.
An anything goes match.
Yeah, I mean, I've never heard those weird chain matches. I think it's because we only had a short little chain and we had to make it work. That's why. That's got to be part of it.
Definitely so.
Yeah, I think the idea was, okay, so then Sports Tech says, who thought of the idea? Well, I think they talked about doing a chain match. The only problem is nobody had a big enough. I think Ernie might have got that out of his truck. Nobody had a big chain. So they didn't plan to bring the damn chain in there. They forgot it or something. I can't remember the deal.
No, this is a no disqualification.
But a tag team match is a chain match? How do you...
The only thing a referee is there for
Usually a chain match should be a singles match.
Yeah.
Submission.
I mean,
1 minute. The chain now goes to the team of the Russians.
And Dred is not very willing to let go of that chain, and I can't say that I blame him.
you think back to like
1 minute's time.
Piper and Valentine; those were chain matches.
Allowing the Russian
Yeah.
beast a chance to use that chain.
I know the match the chain match I did with Troy Stenerson and PWA. Troy was mad that night because Wally Carbo was in attendance.
Yeah.
El DeRusha, Wally Carbo, and Roger Kent. They were all there. And when Eddie heard those guys were in the crowd, Eddie went to Troy and said, "No, you're not going to blade," because Troy was going to blade for the match.
Yeah.
And he said, "You're not going to blade. You're not going to bleed. I don't want you. You're too young, and I don't want you doing this in front of these guys." Eddie got concerned about that. So Eddie nixed it. And when I got there, because I come from Wisconsin, so I showed up, and Troy's like, we had, of course, Troy and I talked about how we're going to do the match. We had all kind of talked it through it on the phone. And when I got there, it's like, Eddie told me I can't blade because Wally Carbon, those guys are here. Because I'm pissed. I'm going to do it anyway. Fuck them. Fuck them, he said. I said, Troy, no. I said, if you do that, Eddie you'll never work here again. Don't for one match. I said, nah, there's things we can do. So there's a big fat man here not selling at all for me. I'm hitting him with a metal chain. Okay, I had to get that in. But so I said, Troy, just wrap the chain around my neck, throw me against the ropes, and catapult me back. Like you're steering me. We'll give him something that they'll make him like, holy cow, he's gonna break his neck. And I damn near did break my neck because that hurt. I didn't know what that was gonna feel like. But I did it. And I did that twice actually in that match. It was a good. We did a good chain match for not being able to bleed. That's at the end of the match where I wrapped the chain around Steve Engstrom's neck, Pretty Boy Taylor, and he was his manager, and I ran him into 3 of the 4 ring posts and took him out in the parking lot. We had to do something, that Georges and Fridley love that kind of stuff, and we had to do that because we didn't bleed. We got to give them something to really get excited for, and that they loved it when I did that because everybody hated Steve as a manager.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that went over really good. But this chain match, yeah, I agree with Wayne. This is like, what's going on here? I think I'm starting to take the heat now, so that's why I'm just getting beat up. This is where I blade.
Yes, he is. He's busted open. Crusher Crossen is busted open.
Ernie's just working me outside the ring.
Oh my! Now that's not really right. The
30 seconds.
The Bear goes after little Ricky Vaughn like that. That's not right.
5 minutes gone in this match.
See, we have the chain, and yet Ernie's not selling for us with the chain.
I don't know how long. A cut like that.
I would have made him sell.
Yeah. There's Crusher Crossen crawling back to the ring in the corner.
He's biting the leg.
Crusher Crossen dragging himself to his corner.
Dred hasn't forgotten.
Dragging himself.
He was biting that guy. Ricky Vaughn
swirling it around.
Dr. Dred twirling that chain over his head like a bolo. Hey, you're Russian. 1 minute. The chain must go back to the Russian team, and Crusher Crossen is bleeding profusely.
That looks like
see if we get a shot. Yeah, a little bit of blood there, a little color.
Dred is at a big disadvantage now because his partner is.
The chain must go back to the Russian team.
Dread's not listening.
Dr. Dread is
Yeah, I think this is where Dread knocked him on his ass and made him sell a little bit.
You know, Dr. Dread has not forgotten a thing. He may be teaming on Crusher Crossen's side.
And I believe Ricky Vaughn is also busted open.
Oh my.
Yes,
Crusher Crossen.
Ricky Vaughn was blasted into the ring post by one of the Russians.
And now the Bear is going at it with Crusher Crossen again. Into the wall again. Ricky Vaughn now bleeding just as profusely as Crusher Crossen. He's gamely trying to keep the beast away from Crossen.
Did Jamie actually?
It's not going to do much.
I'm thinking he might have. He shouldn't have, though. He wasn't even old enough to be doing it.
With a knee drop.
But Jamie was such a diehard that I could see him doing it.
Yeah.
I know the guys, the modern guys, I like, why would you guys want to cut yourselves? They don't understand. They don't understand the era. That was part of professional wrestling.
Yep, he is red.
Yeah.
He's got him up with the Russian backbreaker.
Ring the bell.
We have a submission, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Dread is submitted to the Russian backbreaker.
And Crossen's not going to accept that. He hits the Bear with a drop kick and it doesn't fit.
See, look at that. I just drop kicked the Bear and he stood there like a piece of shit.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, guys, I'm gonna drive me nuts. You're gonna drive me nuts watching this. Yeah, I wasn't a fan. This is another reason why we had enough of the NWF at this point. Because they're not selling for us. It says 87, but it was actually 88. It's the old graphics, but Bushman and Dotzler, BAD.
Yep.
That was my crew. Yeah, so there we go. So, you know, I know you guys. I always complain about this Russian team, but I'm telling you, what do you guys think? I mean, you've seen. Look, if they would have just sold and put us over, it would have worked. But they didn't. They didn't sell for us at all.
Yeah.
And it just made the match lackluster as a result. So can you imagine being in the damn match, having this happen? So Ernie knows better too. The Bear, he doesn't know better. He's just a big fat guy who wanted to be in it and shouldn't have been and thought he knew everything. And let me tell you something too. That guy, the real guy, forget his name, Steve Payette. He thought he knew he was like a know-it-all. He's one of these know-it-all guys.
Right.
And it's like, you know, look, you haven't been doing this as long as like I have. Don't tell me how to do a match. Like he tried to tell us how the match is going to go and stuff. I'm like, yeah, the conversations with him.
You know, that's one thing. When you're in there with a seasoned person, mouth shut, ears open.
Right. But Payette thought just because he's a big fat guy, he's going to be over. And that's not how it works.
Yeah.
Just because you're a big guy, like, you know, and first of all, he's not as big as he thinks he is. He's not like a Jerry Blackwell.
No.
Let's see. Wayne says they look like a big piece of shit. That's putting it mildly.
Well, yeah. I mean, piggybacking on what Wayne's saying, you'd have to say a big bloody piece of shit.
Like as the red?
Yeah.
Yeah. At least when I juiced in that situation there, I did it right. It's the next show that we end up watching where I do it again and I screw up and there was way too much color from Crusher. Way too much color. I had to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Get stitches. So, yeah. Didn't do it again after that. That was it for me.
That scared you straight on getting color.
Yeah, just didn't need to do it. Yeah, didn't need to do it. Thank God they got away from that. They don't do it as much anymore now. It's like, you know, it's not necessary.
There's got to be reason behind getting color.
Right. I'm gonna do a little bit, but not like they used to. Not back like it was in the 80s.
No.
Damien says, Crusher, don't take this personally, but I think some of your young wrestlers put on a much better show than they did. No, I totally agree.
Well,
and I hate to say this about Ernie because Ernie's good, but he wasn't good in that gimmick. He was not good.
If I may piggyback on that, a lot of the younger guys were probably more seasoned than the adults.
Yeah, these adults. I mean, Rick Pitts just starting out, doesn't know a whole lot yet. He looked really rough in his match. Hitman Hernandez was okay. Just Hitman had the problem too of trying to just do too much offense and not enough selling himself.
Right.
A little bit of that as well. The Silver Bullet that went against Dion, a little rusty. I mean, a little rough. I mean, just not polished. Jamie McParland looked good in his match with the Equalizer in the very first match of the show. Looked really good. So, I can work great if I'm in there with somebody that can work. When I'm in there with guys like this, especially the fat one,
there's not a whole lot you can do.
There's not a lot I can do. Yeah, I can make it a squash match for them, and I'm not. But my ego's going to not let that happen.
Right.
At the time, I'm still 18, about to be 18, and I got a little bit of an ego back then, and I'm not going to let that happen at that age. So yeah. Well, that was the Dri-Dock show 113, which means, Dave, the next watch long we go back to the beginning, Group W cable. So our next rewind in 2 weeks, we're going to be watching a Group W cable episode.
Right.
And I guess I can show some of the graphics on that. What's coming up? Let's take a look.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Well, before I get to the one that's going to be in 2 weeks, let me talk about what's happening next week with me and the former Birdman, Bird Boy, the former Bird Boy, Canary Kid, now goes by the Globetrotter Ricky Henry, our current NWF World Champ.
Right.
Me and him will be on Forward a week from tomorrow, and we're going to have this guy. Let me get rid of that comment because it's in the way. The LDN Capital Champion, Stevie Fee, an NIPW trainee as well. And he will be joining us and as our guest. So that should be a good show. I'm looking forward to that. I know Ricky's looking forward to this one as well. I like Stevie. He's I met him when I was out there. He's I think he was like late 20s. He's really coming along well though. Very, very good. Very good in the ring. And nice guy. Super nice guy. So I'm looking forward to chatting with him, and of course he'll be in his character as well, and just like me and Ricky and them. I did, by the way, guys, Ricky didn't get the memo. That last show that Ricky was on, not the one that we had, but the one before that. I told Ricky that the guys want to have us out of character for at least half the show. So we can be in character, but they also want to see us out of character. So now Ricky's got the memo, so he'll come out of character for us. He just didn't get the memo on that one show, guys. He stayed in character the whole time. So he's going to correct himself.
Well, that's the thing. You have to be able to go in and out of character on a show like this. I mean,
right. The thing is, speaking of characters, as you know, Crusher Crossen is afraid of no man. There's nobody I'm not afraid of. I'll get in the ring with anybody. I don't care who it is. I don't care how big you are. I don't care how tall you are. I don't care how strong you are. I will get in there and go toe to toe.
Right.
The same can't be said for the cowardly kid himself, the Globetrotter Ricky Henry. Comes up with all sorts of excuses. But you know what? The kid opened up his big mouth, though, and said he can beat me up in the shoot, right? Thinks he can take me in a shoot match. Well, he's going to have to, next time I go out to Northern Ireland, he's going to have to face up to that. We'll see what happens there. Good luck. Good luck there, Ricky. That's all I can say.
Well, we'll see what happens. I mean,
Crusher Crossen in the best shape of my life, 180 pounds and falling. Let me tell you something, Dave. I'm ready for anything. I am ready for anything.
Well, we'll see what happens when you go out there. I mean, who knows if we have the money by then? I may tag along and shoot video of it.
Everybody's asking, am I going to become the 6-time NWF World Champion? I'll tell you something right now. Ricky Henry doesn't want that to happen. He doesn't want to lose that belt, especially to me, somebody like me. But who knows what's going to happen? We'll see. Speaking of the NWF World Championship, this is what's coming up next for our world champ. Thomas Roach, September 5th. For NIPW fans that tune in, that's going to be September 5th. That's a Friday. We're supposed to do a forward show that day, but we're going to be doing it on Thursday next week. So if you notice that Stevie Fee, I said a week from tomorrow. It's actually going to be a week from today, Dave. Because Ricky's wrestling on the day we do forward show normally. He's wrestling this guy for the NWF World title. So again, this is a Thursday. Notice that Thursday, September 4th, will be on. So you're going to catch us next week on Forward on a Thursday, not a Friday. And now let's get to that Rewind show that we got coming up next in a week. And that's going to be 2 weeks from today. Studio taping 29. There you see Fabulous One Peterson and Crusher Crossen. Look at the face on Brian. Brian always had those faces, man. He gets so into his match. Gritting his teeth. Yep. So good taping, fully restored with Project Starlight. So it's got really good restoration, and it's going to be a fun one to watch. Group W cable. I know Wayne likes the Group W stuff, and everybody likes watching that Group W stuff, even though we were not the best at the wrestling at the time, but I think they like the early, figuring it out kind of thing,
It's a good way to show our evolution.
Yeah, it shows the evolution, shows us starting out. Sometimes it's hard for me to watch it because I get, it can be embarrassing sometimes a little bit,
right?
Depending on what happens. But at the same time, everybody understands we were just kids, so they know what they're seeing. It's hard to believe that a group of kids, though, that started out doing this kind of stuff, wound up selling out the Anoka Armory.
Yep, I mean,
a few years after this.
Every time I go through Anoka, I always point out the Armory.
I'll tell you something though, Dave. I mean, the first one was great memories, but that sellout card, man, that was just to see that many people there and to know that we did it. Remember, I said it was a challenge for me because the show before that in July, we only had 50 people. And I was like, what happened here?
Right.
So it was like I had a personal vendetta. I wanted to sell that Armory out. And I come hell or high water, we're selling it out. That was my motive. That was the fact that we only drew 50 people in July. I'm like, we got to make there's something went wrong here, and we're not going to make the same mistake twice.
Right.
Next thing you know, it was sold out. Standing room only, I think. And then the fire marshal or the armory guy got mad at us because he knew we were breaking the capacity limit of the building.
Yep.
So that'll be a fun show.
We say 450. Could have been more.
It could have been. I mean, we're at the average of 450, give or take. But yeah, a lot of people.
The one time I got my mom to a live show.
Was that the one?
One of the times.
Is that the one she went to?
She went to that one, and she went to Brooklyn Park.
Oh yeah. Oh, your grandma was there. No, that was Jamie's grandma. Yeah, you're right. Your mom was at Brooklyn Park. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Brooklyn Park Armory. That was nice. It was a brand new armory. The building was brand new. But Brooklyn Park was tough territory to promote because, where do you hang posters up in that town? There's no downtown of Brooklyn Park.
Yeah. I mean, about all you can do is go put posters up at Brookdale.
Which we tried to do, and they didn't allow it.
Huh.
Yeah, we put the posters up, and they tear them right down. So, yeah. Yeah, so it's just like, yeah, what do you do? Like, it was a tough one to promote. We tried doing it on the cable show, but the trouble is the shows were so delayed, by the time I'd get my tapes over there to be aired, it was getting close to the end of the, the event already happened. So, yeah, it was a tough one.
Yeah. But, it's been a good show.
Yep. And, I forgot to turn on, I got to turn off the, I got to turn off our Instagram stream, even though it's not streaming, but I got to end it because otherwise it screws up things. There we go. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the show tonight. It was the Dri-Dock shows are fun to watch, but I know you guys like the earlier stuff, and you're gonna get that on our next rewind because we're starting from the beginning again. Group W, then we'll go to the garage, then we'll go to what's after the garage? Fred Moore, then the outdoor tapings. I mean, just rinse and repeat. I cycle through them just like I did. So
Yep.
all right, guys.
For Crusher Crossen, I'm Dixie Dave.
And remember, a week from today, not Friday, Thursday, we'll be on live with Ricky Henry. Same time, earlier time, same time, but it's not Friday because he's wrestling Friday. So we have him on Thursday. Him and our guest, Stevie Fee, join us next week.
All right. So for Crusher Crossen, I'm Dixie Dave, and I will see you in 2 weeks.
All right, guys. We'll see you.